Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be interviewing probably the most underrated Scream Queen you most likely either never heard of or you just plain don't remember, because she's not that prolific in terms of being a Scream Queen, but she's still a cult movie actress nonetheless, and a star of many TV show appearances, and that is Marie Laurin. Very gorgeous, very beautiful lady, and I will be talking to her today. I'm so excited about this. She's one of the many I had a crush on growing up. I've had a crush on so many of my guests I've had on. I don't know what it is about 80s women that just do it for me, especially at that age. But I will be talking to her in just a moment, nevertheless, and it's going to be a pretty fun, cool interview. I want to see what she's been up to. I know she was out of the game for many, many years, and now she's gotten back into acting. I'll find out what she was doing in between. So, without further ado, this is my interview with Marie Laurin.
Hello.
Hey Marie, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I am just super awesome.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too. It's such an honor. I grew up watching you in many things. I had such a crush on you back in the day.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago,
Yeah.
but it's a legacy that lives on.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So you're a fan of science fiction horror movies?
Oh, big fan.
Oh,
Big fan, especially
things
from...
things from the 80s?
Oh yeah, the 80s, my favorite time of any movie period.
Oh, okay. What's some of your favorite stuff from the 80s?
Oh, God, so much to name. I mean, for horror, I love all the Friday the 13th movies. I love the Evil Dead movies, Return of the Living Dead, George Romero stuff like Creepshow
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so much.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks like horror movies are becoming big again.
Actually, yeah, it's actually starting to be accepted now by Hollywood, because back in the day, anybody who participated in horror was considered an outcast.
Yes, absolutely. But now it's totally taking a different turn with. I've noticed that last year or so, they're being treated totally different way now. Yeah, which is good.
Mm-hmm. So,
I am myself. I'm working on filming a horror movie this summer,
mm-hmm.
so that should be interesting. Haven't done that in a while, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Nice. What are your favorite horror movies?
I like the old kinds. I like Rosemary's Baby. I like Repulsion from Polanski.
Nice.
The Shining, of course.
Right.
And the new movie. Have you seen this movie called Babadook?
I've heard of it.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really good. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like gore. I mean, I love horror movies.
Right.
But I don't like it when like those really sadistic horror porn movies.
Yeah.
With like the Saw theory and all that. I don't like that. That I don't like.
Oh, those are my favorite.
I like kind of old fashioned that way.
Yeah, those are my favorite. I like those. I like.
You like that? You like those movies? I can't watch that stuff. Too much for me. Yeah.
I'm just fascinated at the makeup effects and how they're able to pull off making it look so real.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen them, but I can only imagine how graphic it is. And yeah, I'm sure it's quite a challenge to do those effects. Yeah, because when I did Creature,
Mm-hmm.
they had to do special effects with me when I'm turned into a zombie and I spew blood into Klaus Kinski's face, and
Mm-hmm.
that was a huge process. And you see my face sort of bloated for maybe, I don't know, 3 seconds on screen, and that was a huge amount of work involving taking a cast of my face and filling prosthesis and hours of prosthetic applied to my face.
Right.
And you can, it's just very, very quick. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, when did you decide you wanted to be an actress?
Oh, I never decided I was an actress. I didn't have any siblings growing up, so I used to rely on playing by myself and
Right.
do a lot of puppets. I was really into puppets at that time. I remember the Jello Food Company had come up with a big cardboard puppet theaters and puppets, and my entire family, including grandpas and uncles and aunts, are eating Jello in order for me to order this puppet theater and the rubber puppets. And I played so much with that. And I would have friends come over and would write plays. I would direct the plays. So there was nothing else in my mind, really. That's all I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was in my early 30s, I quit acting. I was in a bad marriage, and I had a child, so I had to. Even how I support myself acting, it was still unpredictable. Unless you're famous, you don't really know when the next gig will come up. So I needed some real income for my little girl. So I got out of acting. I thought it was a temporary thing, and I got started working in the mental health field because I had a degree in sociology.
Nice.
And as I got more involved with my work, I became more and more aware of how difficult show business was, and I got the cold feet, and I just kept working in the mental health field for years, and I just got back as an actress 2 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
So one of your first jobs, you did an episode of Three's Company, which I remember this episode.
That was my first job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. I had just arrived. I had arrived from Canada maybe a month before that, and I was just very, very fortunate in the audition for the part. And funny enough, I ended up almost being a regular on the show. They kept bringing back for more and more auditions, and I ended up going in Central City at the ABC Tower and met all the brass there and had to do a reading. And then they decided they wanted to put me as a regular on the TV show and sign up me for a contract, for a 3-year contract.
Nice.
And unfortunately, and everybody, John Ritter was absolutely amazing, and everybody else, they were just like, they were great to work with. And unfortunately, it was the last show that Susan Summer did.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of, there was a good sense there was some tension on the set. Susan kept pretty much to herself. And then she quit. So the shit hit the fan. So they decided to drop my contract and went looking for someone to replace Susan instead. So I was like, oh no. But, it was like, I have to pay my dues. I was really fresh off the plane. I didn't even know what a 3-camera show was. I knew absolutely nothing. I was extremely lucky. But because of that, I started on the guest starring level right away. I was able to get more gigs because of that. So that was a great opportunity for me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You would have been perfect on the show if they had gone with you. Don Knotts was on the show by that point. That in the world of comedy, being on a set with Don Knotts is like shooting heroin with Miles Davis.
It was great. And I was so ignorant of everything. I had no idea how big of a deal it was, and interestingly enough, it was the only show in the history of Three's Company that they shot all in one take.
Wow.
The the Writers Guild was going on strike right then, and so they were panicking. So they wanted to film and call it a day ASAP. So we shot everything in one take.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fun. To me, it was like doing theater, because you had the audience in there, and it was the same thing. But the actors were really terrific. It made me feel like part of the family right away. I had great memories of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you did an episode of The Love Boat.
Yeah, well, The Love Boat happened because usually Love Boat it's for people who are on their way up or on their way down, And because I just did Three's Company, I was supposed to become a new part of the regular cast. They were trying to build me up with the audience, so I was just offered the part. I was, a couple weeks later, I was called in to meet Aaron Spelling in his office, and I said hello. He said hello, and talked a few things, and that was it. I didn't have to audition for the part. I was really, really, I had a little hard to be honest with you. I thought, that's easy. Why are you making it so difficult to be an actress? That's easy, So I was very, very lucky. As my timing was impeccable that way. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I heard working on that show was a blast because you got to co-star with many famous people that you would never in the world dream of. I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Milton Berle. It could be Ephraim Zimbalist. It could be Zsa Zsa Gabor. I mean, it's just amazing. And you got to...
No, it was fun. It was really, really fun. And they were the character, for me. So I was because I'm from Quebec. So I was this girl from Quebec, and Gopher and Doctor were fighting over me. I was supposed to be Gopher's pen pal, and it was really fun. It's I got to wear a French-made uniform, so it was a bit of a stereotype, cliche character, but it was such a Love Boat and Three's Company are such iconic shows from the '80s. It was an honor for me to be part of that.
Yeah, Susan Oliver was in that episode. She was a good actress.
Yeah.
She died way too soon. And then...
I didn't even know this she passed away.
About 20 years ago she did, yeah.
Okay.
And then you got to be in a Steve Martin movie called The Lonely Guy. Oh my God, what was that like?
That was fun. I mean, it was a small part.
Yeah.
But it was a great opportunity to meet, to work with people like Steve Martin, and it was on a shot on the Queen Mary in Long Beach. So we were there on the boat for 3 days to shoot that. So it was fun. It was such a huge production. Personally, I think I do prefer. I really lately what I've been doing is work on indie movies. I personally prefer indie movies as far as working environment to big shows.
Yeah.
What I found difficult in big shows is there's so much waiting around.
Yeah.
They have you there at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning. They slap makeup on your face, and they send you back to your trailer, and then you have to wait and fall asleep, and your energy gets down. Because there's such a big crew and cast and this and that. Whether in these movies, it's so intense. I did a feature called The French Teacher.
Yeah.
In last May, and we shot it in 11 days, 14 hours a day.
Wow.
So I was on all the time, on camera all the time. I had no break, and I liked, as an actor, I found that easier. Because, you get into the character and you just stay in all day long, and your energy is easy to maintain the impetus, to keep going.
Okay, that's cool.
Budget, you wait, so.
But but you got to work with the legendary Arthur Hiller. What was he like?
Oh, he was a sweetheart. He was really, really nice. He was, I didn't get to know him. I was only there for 3 days, but he was a really, really nice man. I was very fortunate. I don't have any horror stories to tell. I never had bad experience working on sets. I was very fortunate that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you were on an episode of one of my favorite horror anthology shows. In America, we know it as The Hitchhiker, but in Canada, it's
Oh
Deadly
yeah, that
Nightmares.
was great. Oh my God, that's actually my favorite part I ever did back in the days in the 80s.
Really?
The Hitchhiker episode with Steve Rosback,
Mm-hmm.
play, as you I'm sure know, Charles and Alpha Skelter, and he was nominated for an Oscar for The Stuntman,
Mm-hmm.
and that was amazing. That was intense. We shot that in Quebec, which was great. You know, go back to my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
and in Montreal actually, but I'm from the province of Quebec, and that was super intense character to play, and most of the crew was French Canadian, so that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really interesting part to do. I really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, that was definitely my favorite.
Awesome. Yeah, I have 3 volumes of the best episodes of the show on DVD, and that one is not on there for some strange reason.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, bummer, it didn't make the cut. You know.
That's a great episode. You know.
Thank you.
I love that 80. Oh, go ahead.
No, it was fun for me because at the end I got to play Steve Rosback turning into me.
Mm-hmm.
So I really got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that all those Twilight style, twists at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. I love that 80s mullet you have. I was always attracted to androgynous looking women.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that hairdo. That was perfect for the part because since I had to become Steve Rosback at the end, so yeah, I had a short haircut and the whatever they did stuff to it. Yeah, the 80s hairdo, that was something else.
Yeah. I think that Steve Railsback is one of the most underrated actors of all time.
Oh, he's so good. He's also, just a lovely actor to work with. Just very giving. It was a dream to work with. And he's really terrific.
Was it at all any awkward when he had to lick your nipples?
No, it's never. It's always awkward just as awkward for the men as the women, but you're professional and you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's no more awkward. I mean, when you think about it, sexuality is a normal part of life, but killing people aren't. But actors are much more reluctant to do sex scenes than they are to do extremely graphic, violent scenes.
Yeah. I also remember I remember seeing your belly button in this episode. It's adorable, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's like half innie, half outie. I have an outie, so I can relate. And then Creature comes in, and I talked to Diane Salinger about this movie, and she's a lovely woman, but we didn't get to talk. We didn't get to talk too much about the movie. She's very chatty. You ask her a question, and she takes like 5 to 10 minutes to answer, and she likes to digress a lot. But in your own words, how was the experience of that movie?
I had a blast. Like I told you yesterday in a text message, the actors, the guys were very, very funny actors. And we kept looking at the script and we thought, it's going to be tongue-in-cheek. It's going to be, let's make a comedy out of that, But Bill Malone, and we went to Bill, and we asked, Bill, can we make it a comedy, kind of? No. It's not supposed to be funny. Let's keep it dramatic. So, okay. But between takes, we were laughing those guys are trading jokes all the time. Yeah, it was so much fun. We're shooting in an old warehouse because it was such a low budget, by the airport, Burbank Airport, and kept hearing, planes taking off. So we had, okay, cut, start again. I remember, there were no showers there. So since I was all bloody, I had to drive home, all that fake blood, sticky, syrupy blood on my face. And I remember speeding on the freeway at 2 in the morning and being pulled over by a cop. And he put a flashlight in my car window and see my face. He's freaking out. I said, no, it's makeup. I'm not hurt,
Yeah.
But no, everybody on board was great. Cross Kingsley was it could have been the butt. He was really rude to some of the people on board, but because he didn't like Americans, but because I was a non-American and spoke French, we spoke French, and he was nice to me because of that. So I was lucky, I guess. But no, it was like a party type of it because it was really fun. Those kind of movies you have to laugh. You know what I'm saying? It's exploitation movies. It was a rip-off of kind of like a rip-off of Alien, and it was very low budget, so things were not always working. The monster was not always working, and you have to go in with a sense of humor,
Yeah. Diane told me that Klaus sexually harassed her repeatedly throughout the film, and
oh boy, yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of months back, I had interviewed Tani McClure, who worked with him in Crawl Space, and she had the same experience, except hers was a lot more horrific. Diane told me she took hers with a grain of salt because he gave her really good acting advice throughout the production.
Well, Diane, she works with him a lot. By the time, they shot the scenes with them, I was already dead, so I only got to work with them one day. And when I met him, in my scene, it's the scene at the end when my face I look like a zombie. Mm-hmm. So, he totally left me alone. But he was very friendly. But again, because I was an American. But I heard he was a handful with the women on the set, yeah.
Yeah. Was the movie meant to be just this alien type of movie?
Well, it was never said so, but to me it's pretty obvious. It was supposed to be similar to Alien.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think, it qualifies to be an Alien type of movie. It actually reminds me of this other movie. Not completely so, but there was another movie around this time that came out. It was Canadian. It was called Star Crystal, and that movie is a true Alien ripoff, I'll tell you.
Okay. No, I've never heard of it.
It's a bad movie, really bad. And throughout the whole movie, all these spacecraft people are being eaten up by this alien. And then at the end of the movie, when the last person is alive, or two people actually, I should say, the alien wants to make peace and be friendly, and the alien looks like E.T.'s retarded cousin.
Okay.
It's a bad movie.
Just I would say for this past Christmas, my boyfriend gave me a poster from Creature from Japan. And it is so cool because it's my face on the poster that's all distorted and blown up at the end. Just one about to puke in Klaus's face. And of course my name is in Japanese and all that. But so yeah, I was like, wow, it even made it in Japan. So I guess the film has a small sort of cult following. I think it's sort of a movie that's like either people absolutely hate it or people really like it.
Yeah. William Malone, of course, he went on to direct the remake of House on Haunted Hill, but he kind of disappeared after Fear.com in the film world, at least. I know he's directing TV. What was he like?
He was really, really nice to work with. We had what's the name of it? He had that robot that he sold. Oh my God, what's the name of that famous robot from a movie?
Oh, Gort?
No, he had it in his house. I remember going to his house we did, table reads of the script before we shot the film.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie, is that
Oh, yeah.
Robbie the robot?
Yeah, Robbie the robot.
Yeah, I saw in the news that he sold it last year, but he had Robbie the robot. He had a bunch of stuff in his house. From he's such a huge horror fan, and
Yeah.
he was very, very, very low-key, very sweet, very easy to get along with. It was a very, it was a very uneventful, no drama, very easy shot, very easy, yeah. On the set, it was nice.
Mm-hmm. What was Wendy Shaw like to work with?
She was really nice. Everybody who was there was all the women. There was a lot of joke, a lot of humor. Going on the set, and it was fun. It was a really fun shot. What's so nice about working on movie sets is that it's like you're like a family for whatever. I can't remember how long we shot for, maybe a month at the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's so long ago. But it was like just a big family. It was great. I always get sad when it's time to wrap in production.
Yeah, and also Ferris Bueller's dad, Lyman Ward.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He was very funny. Yeah.
Oh, just anything I see him in, I'm like, that's Ferris Bueller's dad. Just funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember those. Oh my God, those suits we had to wear. That only bad stuff about the shoe was it was hot, and then we had some problems with the helmet. It was like we didn't have air condition those things, and then we start to breathe, and it would just steam the helmet, and we had those little lights inside, and that was the only uncomfortable part about the shoe was those stupid suits we had to wear.
Mm-hmm.
It was since it was a little bit of a movie, it wasn't exactly high tech. So yeah.
Well, you looked great in it, and
Thank you.
It's iconic in the world of B horror and sci-fi.
Okay.
I'm going to mention a movie now that you probably thought that nobody saw, but I did, and I used to own it on VHS. Talking Walls.
Oh my God! You used to have a copy of that?
I used to, yeah.
Yeah. Very few people have ever heard of that movie. Yeah, Talking Walls. I think I shot that in '82. I think
83 is when it was filmed.
83. Okay. And the director was Steven Verona.
Yep.
Who is an amazing painter. Who directed I don't know if you've heard of the film before, Lord of Flatbush.
Oh, I love that movie, yeah.
Oh, right? And he had discovered this amazing, the unknown actors. At that time, they were part of the cast. Stallone was in it.
Mm-hmm. Henry Winkler.
Gere was in it.
Perry King.
Henry Winkler, I think. Right? Perry King, Susan Blakely. They were all being unknown actors. And he cast them all in that film. Yeah. So that was, I did Talking Walls. That was, we shot that at a Studio City movie set. And that was another really fun shoot. It's a very odd film.
Yeah.
And, Steven was a joy to work with. My love interest in the film was Stephen Shellen. I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah, I've seen him in many movies from the 80s.
Yeah, he worked a lot. He was so much fun to work with. And Stephen, the director, was wonderful to work with. But Stephen, the director, is, like I say, he's a painter, so he's very, very visual. So everything he did, the sets were unbelievable. Everything was just like, it was so wonderful. It was very, very visual. It looks like a music video almost.
Yeah.
When you walked on the set, I don't know if you remember, there was a room that was all pink with big giant sheets, and it was just weird, kinky, and upbeat, and I really loved that. I really,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
crazy documentary style movie, and
Mhm.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just a collage of all these clips and interviews that he's doing, and I interviewed Carol Eda White, who has a tiny part in it, and she told me she had worked with Stephen Verona in the '70s on something, and she did it as a favor. She never saw the movie, and she's like, "Should I see it?" And I'm like, "I don't know if this is your taste." Yeah, but
No, I mean, I like things are different, so I think I got that out of the film.
mhm.
And also there were there were there were different cuts from the film. There was the editor cut and the producer's cut. So I don't know which one you saw.
Well,
Uh,
I had the original VHS tape from New World
okay,
Pictures.
okay. I don't know if that was a producer version, but there was a scene. Oh my god, it was so weird. We shot that downtown Los Angeles, and they had me dressed in in a very androgynous, my hair slicked back, and I had a man tuxedo on, and they were all bunched.
Mhm.
There's like tons of smoke machine around, and there's guys circling me on mopeds and Vespas in the warehouse.
Mhm.
Then there's a giant cage with two women, like punk singers, performing, playing guitar in the cage next to me.
Mhm.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, a little
Next
bit.
one. Okay, because that was from the editor. So you must have seen the director's version of it then. Because I think the producers, it was in the final producer's cut. So.
Yeah, the movie it's a mess, but it's charming in a strange way, and it has
Right, it's very strange. Yeah, yeah.
it has cameos
Um,
by Sybil Danning, Sally Kirkland, and Don
yeah.
Calfa.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a great cast of celebrated actors.
Yeah, it was never released really properly, I feel, but I think that in the same way as Creature has a sort of cult following,
Mhm.
it's a kind of film that's so odd and upbeat that I can see some people, certain type of people liking it because it's so off the wall.
Yeah, and there's a song that plays like near the end of it where this guy with this weird voice he's singing what is it, what is it, and
Yeah, yeah.
I still today to this day sing that song to myself at certain points.
Yeah, I have a VHS tape. I have it somewhere. I don't know where, but it's buried in my garage. But I do have it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy another copy of it off eBay when I get the chance. I had to sell most of my VHS library when I was homeless 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I hope things are better for you now.
Oh, of course it is. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Yeah. I'd be surprised. I mean, I've seen a lot of homeless people with phones and computers. So nowadays, it's like,
Yeah.
surprising how everybody has a need to stay in touch with the rest of the world. Yeah.
I appreciate that though. So you left. Okay, so you left the industry because you said
Mhm.
earlier you were in a bad marriage and you had a child,
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you were working in what was it again? Psychology.
Yeah, I was a mental health counselor,
Yeah.
working with teens and children who have been abused
Hmm.
and taken away by the state from their family, and so I work with them. Yeah,
Wow. And
and it was pretty intense. Lots of amazing stories to tell. And actually, the next script I'll be working on is about that. And I resigned 2 years ago. I couldn't take it anymore because the field is extremely corrupted. It's pretty appalling the way they treat those kids.
yeah.
And it's just like a giant warehouse. People don't care. And when you care, you try to point out things that are not okay. You have a case where staff abuse the kids, and the direction looks the other way around because if it's reported, then licensing comes down to investigate, and if there's an investigation, the nonprofit can lose their money. So it's all about money.
Yeah.
And I met amazing children and teens, and I'm still in touch with quite a few of them. They're part of my life now, and I learned so much from working with those kids because they're so strong and resilient, but the system is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the next things I'm writing after I'm done with my horror movie is I'm writing about that. I'm actually tackled that in the horror movie I'm shooting this summer, the mental health field. So I resigned. I couldn't take it anymore, and my blood pressure was out of control. And my doctor said, either you quit or the job is going to kill you. So I quit, and I went back to acting, and I've been extremely happy since.
That's such a contradiction, because you could probably get high blood pressure acting when you're not getting work, you know.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of, it doesn't stress me out. I've been it's weird because when I was young, there were there's tons of young women who want to be actresses, but at my age, there's a lot of competition. So either the women my age already are famous, or they quit acting. So I've been very fortunate that since I went back to acting, I've been working on projects and actually playing terrific parts. Well, actually, the parts I've been offered since I got back to acting are way more interesting than when I was young. Way, way, way more interesting. But the industry changed a lot also, as you know, with women, much more women involved behind the camera. Much more women are directors now, even DPs. So, when I was young, I I was being cast as the sex object or whatever, the typical thing ingenue get cast as. But now my age is different, so my characters are much more complex and interesting. So I like it. I mean, it's not big projects, but I'm having a great time doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. More interesting than when you were young. I'll be the judge.
Way better. Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that. So do you have any movies coming out or coming up that you're going to film?
Well, I did. The first thing I did when I got back to acting, I played in a feature called Roxana that's produced by James Franco.
Yeah.
And in it, I play a patient in a psych hospital in late 1800s. Mm-hmm. So it was a period piece, and the film is drama, but I'm sort of the comic relief. My character is histrionic personality disorder, so I have to be the center of attention all the time, and I'll do what it takes to be the center of attention. And if selfies existed then, I would have been the queen of the selfies. My character is very vain and needy, and it was a great character to play. And after that, in May, I played the lead in a film called The French Teacher. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a woman film, written, produced, and even a DP with all women, mostly all from Brazil. The crew is from Brazil. Mm-hmm. And I play a woman who is a French teacher, in an adult school, for people who want to go to Europe and learn French. Yeah. And I'm struggling with depression and a dark past, and my father, who is dying of Alzheimer's. And one of my students, a 20-year-old guy, falls for me. So, so I have a relationship with him.
Ooh, naughty girl.
And some more stuff happened. And I also did a few short movies. I'm also doing a web series right now where I play a drama teacher, cougar drama teacher. and then I'm doing a feature this summer in July called The Uncanny, which I'm producing. I also co-wrote, and I'm playing the lead, a woman who was an art therapist. It was an art therapist in a treatment facility for teenagers, and one of my clients committed suicide. Mm-hmm. And I suffer from PTSD because of that. Oh. And my world just unraveled. I move into a house, and things are happening in that house. Mm-hmm. And that's all I'm going to tell you. But it's a horror movie. No blood, but it's definitely a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we just shot a teaser, and we're now in pre-production mode and starting rehearsals with the actors, and we'll shoot this summer.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to be produced by James Franco. I mean, are you astounded at that scandal he had?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of it. I mean, I can only say good things about James. I mean, when I worked with him, it was part of an experimental project he was doing, and he was very giving as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
He certainly never, none of us in the group had anything negative to say about him as far as sexual harassment. He always had excellent boundaries.
Yeah.
And he came out actually as a very, very shy man, you know, because of socially anxious.
Right.
And there was nothing, never anything inappropriate observed within the project I worked with him on. So.
Yeah, I definitely think his case is one of those bandwagon cases, definitely, because I've never heard anything bad about him.
No, he is so. He was really, and I mean, he doesn't stand fool. You know, he doesn't have any patience for stupidity.
Yeah.
But he has amazing work ethic, and he respects people who work really hard. And I mean, shooting a feature again was low budget.
Right.
Because James likes to do a lot of low budget things, and it was intense. It was shot in 2 weeks again at the Heritage Square Museum. I don't know if you know that place off Pasadena Freeway. It's 4 Victorians, small mansion or a museum now, and we shot there for authenticity, you know, and all the costumes and everything. And it was great to do period. I've never done that before. And I was a little, to be honest with you, I was very nervous because of my age. Mm-hmm. And everybody in the class, you know, in that project was so young compared to me. And I thought I would be sort of ostracized or whatever. And James was he had zero issues with that. You know, and most the film, you see, the feature was written by six different writers. We had 6 producers, 6 directors, and 24 actors, and it had to do a feature out of it, a feature film out of it.
Right.
And most of the writers, most of the directors and producers were women. And he struck me as somebody that was really pro-women. So I was actually quite a bit surprised when that came out. Yeah.
I'm very much pro-woman, and my parents brought me up to respect women. I mean, it could be kind of difficult for me at times because I tell dirty jokes in my stand-up act, you know. But no, I love and respect women, and there's no boys club in my world. I treat all women equally.
That's great. Yeah. No, and the thing with I saw the film that one of the accuser, you know, I saw a rough cut of it. James had us come to the studio and watch the rough cut of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some nudity in it, but, you know, I mean, look, I've been naked plenty of times in the films I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm naked again in The French Teacher, and you know, when you go ahead, the director tells you this is you to be naked. This is what's going to happen. Are you okay with it or not? If you're not okay with it, say no, I'm not okay with it. But don't say you're okay with it, and then later go wham boo hoo hoo that you were exploited, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a grown woman. You're not a little girl. You know what's going on. So if you feel uncomfortable with it, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. No more that. Whatever is your comfort zone, you know yourself. You should know your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable with something, please don't do it. Or don't be so desperate to be an actress that you do things that go against your belief or your ethics or, you know, your comfort zone. Don't do it. Or do it and then agree with it, but don't go and complain later on about it. You know, to me, that is not sexual harassment or sexual abuse. If you are willing, you know, willfully willing to do it, you know?
Yep, I agree with you. I agree with you. So you're gonna be naked in this new movie, you said?
Yeah, it's very brief, but yes, yes, I am. I am naked very briefly in the French teacher. Yeah.
Are you still quite a lady?
Well, years took their toll, but that's that's also um, part of life, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you ever get asked to sign autographs at conventions?
Oh, I never go to conventions. Mm-mm. I went to conventions a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
When Creature had just come out, and yes, I did sign autographs, but I haven't gone to conventions since the '80s.
Oh, you might like it now. It's a lot better. I go all the time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot more security there now, and the fans are way more nicer and intelligent now and stuff.
okay. I know. I would be curious to see what it's like now. Um, I mean, maybe with the horror movie I'm shooting this summer, something good will come out of it. I mean, you know what it's like when you agree to act in the movie or to whatever to the project. You never know what it's going to be, what it's going to end up looking like. Because you get three, like I always said, you get three movies. You get the movie that's been, you get the script, the version, and then you get what the actors bring into the story when you shoot the film, and then you get what the editor and the post brings in. So you have like three versions of the original project, and you don't really know what it will look like when it's done. Uh, but I certainly hope with the horror movie that I'm doing now, something good will come out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe I'll end up in conventions again. Who knows?
Oh, that would be great because I would love to meet you in person.
Okay, I would love to meet you too.
I'm trying to move out to Los Angeles to further my comedy career and stuff. It's been really tough. It's been like 17 years in the making, but I'm almost there.
Okay. So do you have like another job you do, and then you do comedy at night, or you do solely devote everything to being a stand-up comedian?
I'm more devoted to it now. I had a car accident 3 years ago, so I've been
Oh,
collecting disability. Oh, it's the best thing that ever happened to me because if I didn't, I wouldn't be driven like I am now. Because
okay,
before that, I worked as a security guard and occasionally worked
okay.
a retail job, and I was not
Uh-huh.
happy. And people are so fucking mean now in the world of retail and security. Like, I just couldn't stand it. It was just like with your situation with the high blood pressure, it was
Yes.
pretty bad, and the accident saved me. I was in a coma for 30 days.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Hmm. Yeah, very spiritually moving, I'll tell you.
When you were in a coma, I mean, were the moments where you had glimpse of what was going on, or you have absolutely zero recollection?
I have like little teeny tiny memories of stuff. I just remember laying there
Mm.
and thinking to myself, why am I not waking up? You know, it was just very dark. And like allegedly, my mom said that allegedly when I woke up and I was under all this anesthesia, I told her that I was in comedy heaven hanging out with Robin Williams and Lucille Ball, and we went on tour. And I think that helped move everything along of me being driven to pursue my dream and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
That's great. And yeah, that's good that you turn something negative into positive.
oh, absolutely. Because the first few months that I was out, that I was awake, I was out of the coma, and then the first month that I was out of the hospital, I was trying to get my brain back after just being under all this medicine for months and months. And after my brain was back. I was like, okay, I know what I want to do with my life. I want to pursue my dream, and that's what I've done. And I've started this podcast, and it's going great. You're my 85th interview.
Okay. So, so it's you've been doing that for what, a year and a half? Your podcast?
Oh yes, I'm coming up on the 1 year anniversary on May 15th.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much, Marie. I mean, this was
You're
just
very welcome.
an amazing experience talking to you, and you're such a very sweet lady and also very strong, I have to say.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you. Well, not meeting you, but I guess getting to talk to you. And hopefully we'll get to meet someday.
Yes. Can I add you as a friend on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be great.
Then you keep see. I'll be posting, various things, on my films, and you can check the progress on that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marie, and have yourself a great day.
Okay, thank you. Same for you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Marie Laurin. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Marie. That was a very insightful interview, very fun, very thought-provoking as well. I'm so glad your career is back and stuff. The world needs Marie Laurin in movies. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.